And good evening and welcome to the Scared to a Sunday synopsis for Sunday the 25th of October. It's almost Halloween time. Good evening and welcome to Scared to a Sunday synopsis for Sunday the 25th of October. Yes, it is actually only 5 or 6 days until Halloween. What a season it's been so far. It's been an absolute roller coaster, up and down. So many things have happened, so many things haven't happened. And with that, let's just start with what hasn't happened. So the big news this week was that Wales went into a full lockdown. Now, they're calling it the firebreaker lockdown, but what that has meant that Festival, the horror drive-through, has had to close, and we'll talk about that more in a little while. Silver Mountain, who'd already decided they weren't going to be doing the Terror Mountain event, but they were going to do Black Chasm Purgatory, have now also decided, now can't open because of the new rules. And of course, Oakwood, which was going to have 4 scare attractions as part of their spectacular event, they have now also not been able to open. So that's really bad news for the Welsh events. Now, obviously, every event that said they were going to go ahead this year, there was a gamble whether they would be able to open or not. But unfortunately, for those in Wales, that gamble has not paid off. And our hearts go out to all the teams. Certainly when we spoke to the guys at Oakwood on the day Mark Drakeford, the Welsh Minister, made that announcement, the management of Oakwood just said, well, okay, I'm just instructing the teams to go start taking the mazes down. So really sad news there. But also, it's not just Wales that's had issues. So over in Europe, and I would just need to remind people that our papers only talk about what's going on in the UK, but places like France and Spain have got it just as bad, if not worse. Belgium have had all their theme parks closed. Nearly all the scare events in Holland have now closed. There is a lot going on this year because of COVID. So we all moan that we can't get to go to events or we're having problems. But just remember, the whole of Europe this is happening in, and across a lot of America as well. So don't forget that. But of course, this week with those announced closures in Europe, we've got Bobbejaanland Land has had to close, Bellewaerde, Helen Dawn, and of course, Toverland had started their Halloween event. But due to some local reporting showing that people weren't social distancing and there were lots of issues going on, they have been forced to close. Now, it's quite a similar situation to what happened at Fort Park last week. You may have seen the pictures of crowds of people gathering at Fort Park and no social distancing happening. There was a particular group of people that had gone to the park to cause trouble, but fortunately Fort Park were able to get over that and continue opening. Over in Holland, it just highlighted to the press that there were issues around operations, and unfortunately they have closed their Halloween event. Also, really sad news relating to COVID. Handmade Mysteries, the room escape company who create we've done Lady Chastity's Reserve, which is a really fun escape room. They have gone into administration. So that's because of not having any bookings over the coronavirus lockdown period. And it's really sad to lose them. And a number of actors have lost their jobs because of that. So our hearts go out to everybody there. We also had news this week. So London Bridge Experience finally reopened. That closed back in March during the lockdown. Hasn't reopened like the Dungeons have or other London attractions, but that reopened this week for the Halloween event. We've got the Phobophobia event in the evenings and the more family-friendly Halloween event during the day. So hopefully that will now stay open for the rest of the year, even though London is in a tier 2 lockdown. So we'll see what happens there. And also in London, we've seen that War of the Worlds looks like it is returning. They have said that the Walk to London experience will be changed. Now, that, for those who don't know, was a free flow immersive experience. You had your virtual reality headset on and you were able to walk through the room and interact with other people. Assuming it's because there's touch points, you get close to other people, but that part of the show has been removed. There's no opening date yet for when the show is due to reopen, but it looks like they are preparing. This week has also seen news that Scare Kingdom have actually launched their Christmas experience, which is a bit of a surprise. We're only trying to get over Halloween, but they've announced the lineup for their Christmas festival, and Southend Room Escape have launched Krampus Returns, which will be their new Christmas-themed escape room. So we mentioned earlier about Festival in Wrexham having to close. So although they've had to close because they're in Wales, they've done the unprecedented thing of actually picking up the whole event, and they are moving it 20 minutes across the border into England to Oswestry Showground, and that is due to open, I think, on Friday this week and run all the way through to November. So you have to admire the sheer determination of Sam and all the team at Cyclone Events for still putting on that event despite everything that's been thrown at them by coronavirus. So look out for a review on that soon. Talking of reviews, we've had a busy week. So although lots of things are cancelled, our reviews are now on the site of Road to Hell, the drive-through experience last weekend. The incredible The Walk by Overfarm, and that review is now on the site. We've also done a load of online experiences where we haven't been able to get out and go to many experiences. So we've got reviews of All Hallows Eve by Morpheus, Keep the Candle Burning by Electric Goldfish, The Mermaid's Tongue by Swamp Motel, and the At Your Peril podcast. So do have a look at those, and if you want to do something a bit more stay at home and immersive. And finally, the review's not up yet, but you can see the first look video of last night. We went to Salvation Z in Gloucester Prison. Absolutely incredible event, about half hour running around a prison, being chased by zombies, totally terrifying. We came out absolutely shattered from running and screaming and everything, and we highly recommend that. And so that is open again for next week. So that's available there. So don't forget, we will keep up to date with the weekly What's On guide. The What's On guide gets updated on a regular basis with all the events that are open and closed and whatever. We are now in the final week. There are quite a few events due to open this week for the first time this Halloween, and we will list those. Look out for lots more reviews coming soon. And with that, we are going to sign off and say don't forget, have a safe Halloween. Follow the rules. If you're in a lower zone, don't start traveling to zone 3s and whatever. Wear your masks, stay safe, have fun, and have a great Halloween. And we'll see you next week.